G'day, welcome back to my mini home workshop. Today's project will be a magnetic drill press, if you like. In the very near future I'm going to start building myself a milling machine, and I think I'll find it useful for the parts that I just can't get in that small drill press of mine. Plus it has no grunt, and the big hand drill I have has a lot more grunt, and I think it'll be easier for drilling large holes with hole saws. So let's get on with it, shall we? It's a touch warm. Got the cricket playing in the background if you can hear it going. I'm an ex-cricketer and I'm a bit of a cricket tragic, really. Well, that wasn't good. This came loose towards the end. I'm glad it didn't come loose a bit earlier. Well, I'll dress that up on the belt sander once it cools down a bit. Got my nice new bandsaw there, but a bit hard to cut that up with that, so I cut it up with a grangle grinder. Another one to cut yet. This one here, which has cooled down now, but I don't think I'll be cutting much off that now. On with the rest of it. So these are the component parts I'll be using for this little project. This is the 304 stainless. You may have seen me cut in half with my new saw in the last video. 16mm. These are a couple of El Cheapo 16mm linear bearings. They don't fit that all that well, but it doesn't really matter for this. It's not really, there's no need for precision in this. And just a couple of mounting plates to mount it on the, actually on this one, on the bottom there. And of course the obligatory magnet which has come from an automotive air conditioning unit. I picked that up while I was out at one of the scrap dealers. It was in amongst all the big heavy plate in a rack, and I knew damn well what it was as soon as I saw it, being an ex-motor mechanic, and I took it over to the counter. They had absolutely no idea what it was and charged me the 25 baht a kilo that they charged me for the steel. If they'd have known it was full of copper, I certainly wouldn't have got it for that price. But that will sit in underneath there with a big hole bored through the centre. So we'll get on with it, shall we? There was one part I left out of the components I'm going to use in this, and that is this ring, which will be the clamp for around the drill. Unfortunately, the drill has these 4 lugs on here, so I'm going to have to allow for them, because I don't think that's a little too narrow there to be trying to grip. So I'll have to cut 4 notches in here for those. I'll square them up a little bit with a file when I'm done. Best file that burr out of there and check that it fits on here okay and clamps up. I don't need to cut a little more out of there. Okay, so I've filed that out. I don't want that, I want this. Let's make sure it's deep enough. Sure is. I'll get that on there. It did pop open a bit when I cut it. This is actually a piece of tube from the McPherson struts I cut up ages ago. It's almost a perfect size. Nice thick wall, not too thin. Should be perfect for this. Well, that's just about completely closed up, so I might take another cut out of that, just to make sure it doesn't close up on me when I clamp it up. At least just widen it a little. Alright, now I need to make up a bolt and a nut. Take the centre out of the nut, or 2 nuts, one with the centre taken out. Weld them on there. Go and do that. I've got to say, it ain't pretty, but it's functional, and it will do the job. So there we go, beautiful. On to the next step. which will be marking out the top plate, I suppose, where this gets welded to, and those two linear bearings get bolted to. Alrighty, I decided I wouldn't make you sit through cutting that with this damn thing. That's what I used, and it's very sharp. I had to come at it from both sides, and I'm still going to have to file it out a bit because this is only 40 millimeters, the biggest one I got. So I'm going to have to file that to get the chuck to pass through it. But anyway, it was an effort. It took 10 or 15 minutes to cut that out, and it was horrible. But anyway, these have got to be drilled to tap M4, so we'll get on with that. Well, there's 4 more on the other side. If you've seen 4 holes being drilled, you've seen them all. Alright, champed all those holes up. Just been down the road and bought myself one of those delicious cafe and pan, like iced coffee, that I like so much. Because, like I said a little earlier, it's bloody warm here this afternoon. It's very warm. There's that nice new tap handle I made the other day. If you haven't seen that video, there's a card up in the top right hand corner now that you can have a look at and see how I made that. This was made from some blueprints that this old Tony he put in one of his videos. This is not one of, even though this is spirofluted tap, this is a little Japanese brand that I got from a supplier in Bangkok. These ones here, I've no idea what the brand is. It's written in Japanese, but oh, there you go. Ishihashi Seiko Company Limited. Very nice. I bought that tap there, and it came in this box with nothing else. And I thought, you beauty, fits just about nicely all the taps I use all the time. Very nice of them to do that. Tony was right when he said about the shape of this and that little shoulder there, about your finger hooking in it when you spin it out. He's a good man, this old Tony. He does some great stuff. I'm a big fan of his videos. He's he's a very talented man, and he's entertaining as well. So it's part of the reason why I like watching it. He entertains me while I possibly learn something. Well, like I said when I drilled them, you've seen 4 holes tapped, you've seen them all. So I'll save you the other 4, bring you back later. While I was tapping the second lot of holes here, it suddenly occurred to me there was something missing from here. A hole to put these damn things in. And to be honest with you, I don't think I have a hole saw that size. 28, no I don't think I do. I bought this little one a while back. It comes from a, they sell everything store down the road called Mr. DIY. And I've cut a couple of holes with that. It's really sharp. And it cuts almost perfectly sized holes. Beautiful little thing. But it's only, like I said, it's only 25 and I don't feel like filing that out. So it looks like it'll have to be a 30, but not a lot of meat. Not a lot of meat in here. I don't know that a 30 will cut too big a hole. Geez, it'd be close. No, I might have to go and buy one if I can get one somewhere. Oh well, see when we do. I'll come back when I find out. I do have another option, and that's this set of useless things. I've never had a lot of luck with these, cutting anything with these. They tend to burr up and then they won't cut anything. But there is a 28mm one. That third last one I think was 28mm. So maybe if I cut the holes, the 25mm holes, and then try to finish them with this, we'll see how it goes. Might try doing that. Well, there you go. Like I said, these things, these little hole saws, these cheap things, and they are cheap. Cut really accurate holes. You don't normally see hole saws cutting holes like that close to tolerance. There's just nothing like it normally. It's just so oversized. The only real problem with these things is that there's no set on the teeth, and halfway through it you've got to flip it over and cut from the other side because it just starts to bind up all the time. So now we'll see if we can get these other stupid thing to this pyramid cutter or whatever they call them, step drills, or see if we can get it to cut a hole through there, and I don't like my chances. I've never had any luck with these things. Let me just check which one it is. It's 28, I think it's that third one from the bottom. Yep, 28.2 it is. Oh, it's actually cutting, that's a change. This is where they start to shit themselves. They seem to, I don't know, they bind up and then they just won't cut anymore. Yep, that's about as far as I normally get with these mongrel things. Just rubbish. I've not found a good one yet. Where do you buy a good one? That's what I want to know. I bought 2 or 3 and none of them are any good. Rubbish. Big garbage. Another one here somewhere. Where is it? There. I wonder if this one will cut through it. 27.7. Maybe I can get that one through it first, and then the 28 through that afterwards. That's hot. Truly useless bloody things these are. I see other guys hacking holes through this stuff with these things, and they seem to go through no problem at all. Damned if I can get them through there. Horrible things. And I don't really want to file all of that out of there. That looks like hard work. Oh well, I'll leave it at that. I'll come back to you later. Well, I just had a quick search on the internet, see if I could find a hole saw the right size locally, and I don't see one. And I thought, well, I've got a lathe sitting over there. I might try and set these 2 up in the 4-jaw tomorrow and bore them out, and then weld that clamp in the centre here. Set that up in the 3-jaw, clamping onto the piece I weld on, and bore that centre out so that it'll fit the drill chuck through it. Save mucking around with this anymore because I definitely don't want to file it out. And it's nearly beer o'clock, so I think I'll call it a day, pack everything up, and get back into this tomorrow. Well, I really only have one thing to say, and that's bugger. It's just a little too long to be able to get to these two. It hits the bed on the way around. The bed was about 10 or 12 mil shorter, it'd actually swing round. But I did manage to get that one knocked out, so that's one I don't have to worry about. And I might mount up the other plate, bore the guts out of that as well. I've never used a hole saw and a lathe before, but I've got to say, I wish my shitty little drill press cut this well. Only doing about 380 revs here. Just bore it out with this because I can't see any sense in having to bore it any more than I need to. I'm going to make this the same size as the hole in the magnet. I don't really know why I would have needed to, but in the end I had to turn it around and recenter it. Come at it from the other side like I do in the drill press, but anyway, it's cut now, so I'll get on with boring it and we can finish this damn thing. This is a power unit I built a while back. Inside there's a 12 volt transformer, heap of gear on the back here. This button turns it on and off, and that won't control the amount of voltage. Only got a normal socket on the front because that's all I could find, but it allows me to use normal extension leads to get out somewhere different, and that's what I'll be using the parrot with later. Alrighty, as per the last few videos I've made, this started to drag on a bit, so I thought I'd skip some of the more mundane, boring bits and just get on with it. These things here, I ended up filing them and grinding them and doing all sorts of rubbish, but I got them in there. Painted it all up, bolted everything together. I've painted up the magnet. Put some a little bit of relief here in the bottom of this for the magnet lead to come out of there. Bolt this back together and give it a whirl. See how it goes. Found this. I went down the road to buy some black spray paint this morning to paint this with, and I found this really cool paint down the road at one of my favourite stores, Mr. DIY, that I mentioned a little earlier, where I bought that cutter from. And it says on the tin that it's a acrylic epoxy as opposed to a lacquer, which most of them are a sparkling black. So I bought that. I thought, yeah, that'll be cool. It does. It looks. I like that. I didn't have much else in the way of colours for that stuff, but I might find myself using that a little more. This green, I was going to paint that black originally, but that green's become a little bit of a signature for me, so considering my logo's basically that colour as well. Alright, so that's that on there. I've put a little switch in the cord, and it's got a normal 2-pin socket which they use here in Thailand. There's that switch, I think you might have missed it before, on off. This is the plug that's commonly used here in Thailand, and I've rescued this off an appliance that it shoot itself. So plug that in. So let's see how well this works. Turn it off. Put it up here on this bit of steel plate. So that's not turned on. Turn it on, and Jesus, that does it. That hangs on pretty damn well, that. So I think that'll work pretty well. It all fits in the top. These springs might be a little soft, but I think they'll do the job. This was just 500mm shaft, and I just cut it in half originally. So once I've used it a little and I figure out just how long they need to be, I might lop them off. Find some circlips or something, put in the top, or drill a hole and put a little plate on it, something like that, just to stop this from coming all the way off. But anyway, that's it. I'm hoping I'll get some good use out of that. And oh, by the way, I didn't need to bore with that yesterday when I had the lathe. It was 40mm was the size of the hole in the bearing anyway, which was the size of the cutter, so I just cleaned it up a little. But that's it. I hope you like that. Copied you if you like, and hopefully I'll get some good use out of it. Well, that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear what everyone has to say. If you got something from that, smash that like button, and keep up to date with future releases. Press that subscribe button, and to get notified, press that little ding-a-ling-a-ling button. That one. Yeah, that's it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.